Okay. Okay.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the January 13th, 2025 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for coming. I'm Barb Lewis, president of the board this year. And to my left is Jeff Benton, vice president. To my right, fellow commissioner Gary Merrill, and our administrator Tracy Davies, our deputy administrator Eric Hostetler, and our clerks Jennifer and Allie. For today, we can begin.
Resolution number 25-11, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held January 9th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-11. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. That brings us to item number 3, resolution number 25-12, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0110.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-12. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-13, in the matter of canceling the Delaware County Commissioners' sessions scheduled for Monday, March 17th, Thursday, March 20th, 2025, Monday, March 24th, 2025, Thursday, March 27th, 2025, and Monday, March 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-13. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-14, in the matter of delegating temporary authority to the county administrator.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-14. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-15, in the matter of affirming the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Day in Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. And what I'd like to do, would you like to make any comments before I read the resolution?
Well, it's something we have the opportunity to do every year, and Dr. King very much believed in equality and give everybody having opportunity, and I think we all could learn from that. And as I said last year, I remember where I was when I heard about his assassination, and it was a great loss. And those are my comments.
Okay, thank you.
Not a whole lot to add to it. I mean,
Okay.
the proclamation says it all. I actually did have the opportunity to go to Memphis, the hotel where Dr. King was assassinated. It was fascinating, kind of haunting site. And they have a museum there. It's very, very reflective, very interesting. So, very impactful.
Boy, we sure have needed him over these past
Years in particular.
And I will read the resolution. Whereas on January 20th, 2025, we take time in Delaware County to observe the national holiday commemorating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And whereas we, the Board of Delaware County Commissioners, affirm this as a day when we come together as a nation and celebrate the principles of equality and justice that make us uniquely American. And whereas we honor the sacrifices that Dr. King made in his lifetime and that so many Americans continue to make today in their work to ensure that all Americans, regardless of their differences, have access to the same rights and opportunities. And whereas we renew our commitment to honoring Dr. King's famous dream that his children would, quote, one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners Delaware County, Ohio, do hereby affirm and encourage all citizens to join us in the observation of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in Delaware County. And it's signed by Jeff Benton, Barb Lewis, and Gary Merrill. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-15. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
For our next item, we are joined by our local semi-quincentennial committee. We have Donna Meyer, Melissa Stoop, and Chris Shaw.
Good morning. So everybody say that word 3 times, semi-quincentennial.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I get this up, Jennifer? There it is, okay. I'm Donna Meyer, I'm the Executive Director for the Delaware County Historical Society, and I appreciate this opportunity to update you on what exactly we're doing for this amazing event. And even though there was no Delaware County in 1776, there was still a lot of activity in this area. There were hundreds of Native Americans who were living in a village in which is now Mingo Park. So this is kind of interesting. In what is now Delaware County in 1776, by law, Britain passed the Quebec Act, which formally annexed Ohio and other western lands into the province of Quebec. Isn't that amazing to think that this is where we were? 1776, a large Native American town of significance was located near what is now Mingo Park. This is a drawing that a local artist, Rod Arter, created. It's a watercolor of what this would have looked like. We had the Delaware, which is Lanai, Lenape, Mohawk, Shawnee, Wyandotte, Seneca, and Cuyahoga. So we've got a large planning committee, and I started this maybe about a year ago, thinking that even though there was no Delaware County in 1776, we really needed to celebrate this, and I'll explain why. So this is a large planning committee. We've got people from all over the county, Galena, Radnor, Harlem, Scioto, Kingston, and our goal was to gather people together so it would be a full county-wide activity. We meet every other month, and next year we'll probably start meeting monthly. So this is a project that Chris Shaw from the county wants to talk about. You want to come up and talk about it now? Okay.
Chris Shaw, Delaware County Record Center Coordinator. This is a project I've taken on with the America 250 Committee and our local committee. It is a project that we will do, tentatively planned for this April 22nd, so April 22, 2025. The Heritage Tree Committee at the state level will provide the tree. We will have a ceremony, and we will have a plaque. I'm speaking with facilities to see where we should plant this tree. It's a slow-growing tree, but it will last up to 500 years once it starts growing. So I will fill you in on details more as things go, but this will be one of our first initiative with the America 250 statewide committee.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
And what's cool is this will be planted on Earth Day, which is awesome. We just need to find a space like that would accommodate a tree that size.
Mm-hmm.
This is some information about what's expected with the tree planting. So we need to find a place, and we need to put the event date, and that's this year, not next year. Hold a public ceremony, invite the media, and ensure continued maintenance for this tree. It's an oak tree, so it will have acorns.
No, that's right.
Adding to the squirrel population.
Yes, yes.
So these are some of the activities we're planning on. There's at least 100 Revolutionary War soldiers that are buried in Delaware County. And when I first saw that, it was kind of astounding. I was like, you're kidding me. But part of this area was given as payment to the Revolutionary War soldiers because, you know, they fought the revolution, they won, they expected payment for their service, and guess what? The brand new United States was broke. They just fought a war. So they said, we'll give you the land over here. So that was really kind of cool. One of the most interesting ones is the picture here. This is a Sergeant William Warrington. And William Warrington was part of George Washington's bodyguards. And he is buried at Mill Creek. You can see his, obviously, a new marker. But the thing that is his claim to fame is he intercepted some poison that was meant for General Washington, and this was during the war. So you think about what would have happened had he not done that. He was an interesting character. He outlived 4 of his wives and had 17 children. So one of the things we want to do is we're working with the Veterans Association to supply markers, and we're going to purchase special 13 flags, 13-star flags, so that we very obvious people visiting the cemetery would see, oh, that's a Revolutionary War soldier. Let's, you know, learn more about him. We're going to hold a cemetery tour, a countywide one. We've done similar things, countywide cemetery tours in the past, and then people have come back to the barn at Stratford and had, you know, reenactments. I think you went to one of ours, Jeff. And then we want exhibits about our native population, the mounds and earthworks. Other activities, some of the topics we're going to cover is immigrants, 200 years of fashion, reenactments, driving and walking tours. Tom Homan had the idea that we need to do Chautauqua presentations, and a few years ago we did that for the county bicentennial, and so we're looking to do that again. Does everybody know what Clio is, the Clio? Bet you don't. So write this down, theclio.com, and this was developed at a Marshall University, and it is very cool. So you just go to the Clio and you put in Delaware County, and people have made entries about historic places all over Delaware County. So for example, the Strand Theater, the Carnegie Library. So it will be like a written something. So if you're walking around and you put this in, and you will see that, you know, listing the history of that. And that's really cool. So we want to increase that, maybe have like an area that would just be related to the Revolutionary War and our earliest events. So we want to create a video of events and put additional historic markers at cemeteries that might list the soldiers that were buried there. Exhibits and programs, we got programs scheduled next year, and assist with marketing all County 250 events. The only other entity in Delaware County that is registered as a America 250 community is Orange Township. And we invited them to come to our meetings and asked them, I'm not sure they're quite defined on what it is that they're doing. We'll certainly partner with them and exchange ideas and certainly communication. And we want to participate in parades. We're doing a really interesting thing. This is kind of an outcrop of this, but we're surveying barns in Delaware County. Barns are representative of our agricultural heritage, and we've identified 2 barns per township, and these are barns that have some age to them. And we want to list it, we want to take pictures, we want to have details about that because barns are quickly disappearing. So we have formed an ambassador program for schools, and my sales and venue manager, Melissa Stroop, is going to talk about that because she's taken that on.
All right, thank you.
I'm Melissa Stroop. I'm the Sales and Event Manager for the Delaware County Historical Society and managing the barn at Stratford. As a parent in Delaware County, I found it really important to make sure that we engage some of our young leaders in the community as part of the America 250 celebration. So we created as a committee the concept of the Delaware County America 250 Student Ambassador Program. This program invites all Delaware County high school students to register as a young leader in the community. They will learn about the 4 founding documents, or the 4 pieces of the founding of America: the Federalist Papers, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Each one of those classes is offered multiple times to meet their very busy schedules. And again, there's no testing or application, it's just about participation. In addition to the classes, so that they have that strong foundation of understanding, they will complete a minimum of 10 hours of volunteer time within the Delaware County History Network. So there are many options within Delaware County, not just with the Historical Society, but for example, in Galena, in the Powell Historical Society, in Radnor, and other areas, to find new ways that they can support our historical outreach and learn more about the county that is raising them. Each student ambassador that completes the program, the 4 classes, and the 10 hours of service will receive an honor cord to wear at their graduation.
Boy, thank you. Thank you. It's a great idea. Yeah, definitely including the students and then having them read those founding documents. That's wonderful.
Actually, I kind of gave Melissa the idea. My younger sister graduated in 1976, and everything from Hayes, and everything was red, white, and blue. I think their tassel was red, white, and blue. So that was really cool. And she started thinking, we can do that.
Oh, that's great.
Does anybody have any questions?
So you are working then with all the historical societies, like Big Walnut Historical
Correct.
Society, and I know you
Yep.
mentioned Powell.
Yep.
and- Yeah, oh,
Yep.
that's great.
And then,
We do have a certificate and a bicentennial or a centennial flag to present to you from the state committee.
Oh, thank you. Sure.
Now, we are registered with the state organizations doing this, because I was in a CCO meeting a year ago, and they didn't mention Delaware County, and I raised the
Right.
question, so that's been
Right.
addressed.
that has been, there was some communication issues. I had applied probably close to a year ago, and then I kept saying, why aren't we on the list? But we are now, so.
Oh,
so
great.
We are
Yeah.
officially registered.
Do you have a top 5 targeted location for the oak tree?
No.
Yeah, I'm just curious where it's gonna go.
Well, it'd be nice to have it here in the courthouse. I mean, my thought is to have it, especially since it'll have a plaque, would be nice to have it where the public can see it. And the public can
Sure.
certainly
Right.
see this beautiful historic building. I don't think we've got room over there on the jail side.
This is a slow-growing tree. Are the trees gonna have some size to them?
Yes,
Yes.
they get
Oh,
up to
yeah.
80
Yes.
feet high, but it won't be for 80 years, I guess. So, yeah, it's an oak tree, which is a native tree to America.
Yeah,
So,
there's, it's a tree too that's somewhat endangered. I know that they're trying to grow more white oaks. I have several white oaks in my yard. They're huge.
Yeah.
Takes time.
Yeah, takes time, right.
So we'll,
Great.
I've been speaking with facilities to see if they have any recommendations of where it should be planted. So everything's kind of in the works.
Good.
So
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Okay, okay.
Just a thought. First of all, the idea of getting students involved is a great idea. Are you having any success in that yet, or is it just started?
We have about 40-plus students registered now.
Wow.
The majority of them are from Delaware Hayes, and we are pressing a little bit harder with Big Walnut and Olentangy and Buckeye Valley, and we're having some more generation of that. So
Are
we
you
really,
not getting interest, or you just haven't made contact yet?
I've made plenty of contact. I think that the students are just not, there's been a lot of question about if they can fit it into their schedules and what the parameters are, so we've been putting out more information with the schedule. We have all the classes scheduled all the way through 2026 so that they can work around that. We've made sure to pay attention to AP exam schedules, spring breaks, holiday breaks, and those types of things.
Are you getting the word out as far as the location of the tree?
Yeah.
These students-
Melissa, come up too with, I want to make sure that
Getting
people
these
hear
students
you.
involved, one thing that, where would you suggest we put it? Maybe have some
That's a
sort of
good point.
contest? Just a thought. You want to get their interest, and I think it's great if all the school systems get involved.
I do too.
Yeah.
If you have any problems with any of the schools, reach out to us. I think we all know the superintendents help or suggest.
Okay,
Right. Could we make
Yep.
sure that we get your contact information
Absolutely.
too, so,
I will follow up with all the
Okay,
program
okay.
information and contact information. This
oh, great,
afternoon.
thank you.
Another thing, I don't want to be presumptuous, but whether it's Delaware County's newsletter or some of the townships have newsletters, if you
Mhm.
guys could put something together that could be published in those, it would help build a little momentum for next year.
Yeah, I
We
think
have-
Chris is gonna take care of that.
She has put it in the county newsletter. I have one social studies teacher from each one of the high schools engaged already. They'll be
Oh,
the ones
good.
teaching the classes. They've hung flyers up in the schools. They all have a JPEG image that they've been putting in their school newsletters as well. We have a press release that we've put out. We've had it on our own social media. So we are pushing to get, some more engagement. I don't know that the students would have, the timing doesn't quite align for the tree project. They really won't be starting this. They're in the process of registering now. And I think the decision is that you'd like to have this planned in 2025. So,
I think you said Earth Day somewhere in your
Earth Day, yeah.
presentation.
but they could certainly be a part of helping to maintain it or celebrate it.
That's just an idea
Sure.
to try to get the students more involved and maybe
And-
some sort of,
In our own
Incentive.
communications department too, that would be great,
Okay.
with Jane and Eric there.
Okay.
They
and
can-
and
they
again,
can
none of
help.
the townships have newsletters, so
Mhm.
I would think that if they were approached, and I can't give you the total list, because I don't know who, I may not be on all the lists, but I get several. And, but that just gets the word out a little more. And if there's anything we can do as commissioners to
Mhm.
facilitate or assist, let us know.
Okay. Be happy to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No.
No?
Thank you.
Would you like for us to present the certificate and the flag to you?
Sure.
Sure.
The certificate from, showing that we are officially a 250 community.
All right. Certificate showing that we are officially an
We're
American.
official now.
250, Ohio community.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and there's a
Okay.
flag too. Oh, gosh.
Did you want a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A picture would be great. Yeah.
Jane, you gonna, we get a picture
Oh,
up here?
Jane is here too. Oh, yeah.
Get a picture with all?
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I can't stand close to the bar because we match.
I was gonna say, I know, we talked before.
You know, last night, I talked.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, resolution number 25-16, in the matter of approving a service contract between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Fishel, Downey, Albrecht, and Rippenhoff, LLP.
So,
Second.
discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-16. Mrs. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Merrill,
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-17, in the matter of amending user charges for the Delaware County Regional Sewer District in conformity with the provision of sections of 6117.02 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Nabi, Director of Finance. This request has been submitted to modify the fees for sewer treatment services through the Regional Sewer District. There's a recommendation for a 2.5% annual increase through 2029, and this analysis was prepared using a 5-year financial forecast, which incorporated the 5-year capital improvement plan. Just for consideration also, these fees are a primary source to help support capital improvements, and we estimate there are going to be $156 million in those costs through 2029.
Thank you.
And then lastly, just comparing to the city of Columbus, over the last 4 years, their average increases have been around 4.5%.
Okay, that's helpful. And I know you've briefed us on this already.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Justin, and
Yes.
Tiffany's back there too. I know Tiffany worked a lot on this to, properly plan and make sure the finances work. And these are really modest increases, I think they average, I think over the 4 years from 25 to 29, it's 10%, so it's 2.5% a year. So
Right.
really very modest, and yet we're able to meet all our obligations and plans, for the maintenance and operations of our very good system. So
Right.
thank you for your work on this, and Tiffany as well, and your whole team I know worked on this.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you too. Any other comments? Yeah, it's necessary. We've got
Yes.
to make sure.
Yes, sewer's
our-
important.
Yes, yeah. Okay, vote please.
Vote on motion 25-17, Mr. Merrill,
Aye.
Mr. Benton,
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye,
Great, thank you.
thank you.
Director Mag has her monthly sanitary sewer approval. It's under the other one, the Edge one. Yes, it is on there as well.
Yeah, one other thing I didn't mention when we were talking about sewer rates is we have among the lowest rates in central Ohio, for monthly user fees.
That's it, yeah.
Again, and we're going to continue to maintain very modest rates, so it's just very helpful. Thank you.
Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. Yeah, we appreciate your willingness to entertain these rate increases, which, like you said, they're very modest, and it really helps us from getting too far down the road and then having to do a significant increase, which can be a burden on the users. So this will allow us to continue to maintain our critical assets at a high level, which is what we've been doing, and I know that the residents expect. So we appreciate that from you, and also Justin's still here. Justin was so much help for us in this and pulling this thing together. Really appreciate his efforts as well.
We had
Thank
very,
you.
very modest increases, and it's important that we make sure that we prepare and in a position that we don't have to have some sort of excessive increase down the road because we didn't prepare and plan. And all the things that you use with these plants go up in cost, inflation.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think we're just doing our due diligence.
Yeah, we're set up very well to continue to do that, and like you said, at a very steady, modest, incremental rate increase will allow us to do that for the long term. So once again, thank you for that.
And presumably maintain our AAA debt ratings.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So with that, I have the monthly update for the month of December. We had just a couple plan approvals. We had Parkside at Evans Farm, which is it's a development up on the north side off of Hollenbach Road. It's just a little bit north of the current area that you see with kind of all the commercial development. So it doesn't connect to that yet, but it will in the future up off of Hollenbach Road. And then Mercedes-Benz has a new dealership up there near 71 and 3637. So this is just an 8-inch sewer extension to get to that dealership. And then North Star Ivywood is a subdividers agreement. It was an amendment that you saw last month on session. They split out sections 1 and section 2. And then finally, we have this is the Encore Park of Powell. This was on last month as well. This is a plan approval, 19 units in this condo community by Grand Communities, Fisher Homes in Powell.
Okay.
And so a short monthly update, but I do have some additional information. Let Jennifer tell me where it's at. Just wanted to kind of do a annual wrap up on the TAPs and
Okay.
TAP fees that we've received over the course of 2024. I know we talked about it in the budget hearing, but I wanted to kind of show you where we finished up for the year now that we've closed the books on 2024. So for the past 5 years, I think you all knew we were trending significantly higher than we have in the past. So just to kind of show you where we ended up, we had 2,120 new taps into the system in 2024, which is significantly higher than we anticipated. We actually budgeted for 800 new taps.
Is that the highest we've ever had, Tiffany? Do you know?
I think the 2006-07
7,
era
yeah.
was pretty high, probably similar. I think it was a little higher than this. But yeah, it's been almost 20 years since we've seen numbers this high. So $16.7 million in capacity fees, which was about $10 million more than we budgeted. So really a really high year for us over the course of the last year. So out of that 2,120 new taps, 1,947 were residential, but the residential includes multifamily, and so 997 of those were multifamily. So that's a pretty high number for us as well. The other 173 were commercial. Also for the past year, we've had 19 new plans approved, 29 subdividers agreements accepted, and 25 full acceptances through the sewer installation process and approval. So pretty significant year for us. I think we're expecting maybe not quite this high next year, but it doesn't seem like things are slowing down all that much, as you can see with the 25 acceptances and 19 new plans approved, so.
Could you go over those figures again?
Yeah.
Residential, I know.
Yeah, so out of the 2120 new taps, we had 1,947 residential, but
Okay.
that residential does include multifamily, and
Okay.
997 of those were multifamily, the other 945 were single family.
Got it. Okay.
And then the remaining 173 were commercial.
Okay, thank you.
So over 90% residential,
Yeah,
which is continuing the trend.
yeah, it's similar to what we've seen in the past, yes. I
When you
think
say 180 were commercial, now that could be multiple taps for some commercial, so.
Yeah, correct,
Doesn't
yeah.
necessarily mean 180, it's probably something less than 180.
Yep, yeah, that's correct, yeah, so that's not 173 new commercial users, that's, they're based on their water usage rate, they would then pay a certain number of taps for each one of those businesses.
Yeah, that's
So-
very helpful
Yeah.
to see it.
I should make a comment. There's a recognition that you and your department do an outstanding job, and I think there's a recognition in the industry, from BIA to all the other, that we're really doing it the right way, and we're planning for the future. There's a lot of projects that lie out in front of us that we're going to need to address and to continue our growth, and so we got a lot of challenges in front of us.
Yeah, we do, I appreciate those words. Actually, it was probably 3 months ago or so when the developers really ramp up to finish their projects before the asphalt plants close down and the ground starts to freeze. I got a call from the BIA saying, hey, you guys are a little slower than normal. And I'm like, well, we are swamped, but we will do what we can. I think we were able to work through that and navigate that with those developers so that we could address those concerns. And I think we took care of it. But long term, if this continues, we'd have to kind of consider staffing up or whatever the case may be. But it's all hands on deck this year, which was we got through it. It worked out just fine in the end. But it's the first time I had that call in a while. So I made sure that we turned
Right.
things around and got
Right.
it straightened around.
Boy, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
23 to 24, huge. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and that, again, kind of that 16 million pays for the infrastructure, related to growth, the development
Yeah.
And
infrastructure.
that's not free money, that's the money
Yeah.
Yeah,
that goes to make
Yeah.
it all work.
yeah.
Yep, and like Justin mentioned, we
Right.
have plenty of projects coming up. I think he said 150-some million. Well, that's just on one side, and that's not the other side that allows us to continue to grow. So a lot of really, significant projects coming up here to continue to see these types of numbers.
Boy, thank you. You're doing a great
Yep.
job,
Yep.
you and
Thank
your
you.
team, Tiffany.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Item number 11, resolution number 25-18. In the matter of approving a professional services agreement with E.L. Robinson Engineering for the project known as Dell CR 007-01.99 Troy at Hills Miller Road intersection improvements.
So, second.
Discussion.
The problem is we've all kind of changed our roles. When you say this position, you don't make the motions. And
I'm looking at-
we're kind of
yeah.
relearning a little bit.
Relearning. Getting trained.
So with that disclaimer,
Retrained,
yeah, we've been trained, now we gotta be retrained.
Hello.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Bodnar with the Engineers Office. I'm sorry to startle you or anything. I know that I'm probably dressed a little bit too well for my position, but I can be shocking in that regard. This resolution is for the E.L. Robinson Engineering Company to provide engineering services in association with the right-of-way plans and a roundabout construction at the intersection of Troy Road and Hills Miller Road in Troy Township. This intersection has had a long history of some very bad accidents, and this construction and new construction should help alleviate that. The construction is scheduled for 2028.
Ooh, wow.
And we would humbly ask for your approval.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, it certainly is.
That is an unusual intersection.
It
You know,
is,
with the
truly.
railroad and.
Railroad tracks are right there.
Gosh, it's all so
It's a tricky
busy.
one,
Yeah, yeah.
but it is. It's good that we're addressing it. It is a problem intersection.
Any other discussion? Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-18, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-19, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Grace Point Community Church and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners for the project known as Del CR 98-1.58, widening of State Route 3 and Lewis Center Road.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this resolution is for the purchase of property in association with the widening of State Route 3 at the intersection of Lewis Center Road in Genoa Township. This intersection improvement project is a cooperative effort between the county and the ODOT that will add turning lanes and traffic signalization at that intersection. The project is scheduled to begin later this year with completion probably the summer of 2026. And we would recommend your approval.
Discussion. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-19, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-20, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, this would be for 10 standard right-of-way permits with nothing remarkable to share. Only 10.
Discussion, please.
Vote
I'm
on
sorry,
motion
vote. Yeah.
Vote on motion 25-20. Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
That brings us to administrative reports.
Nothing for me today.
Nothing, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Benton.
Really just one thing to talk about. We're having a land bank board meeting Wednesday. We're required to do it every quarter. This is an earlier than usual meeting, but we've got 3 applications that we plan on having presented for brownfield remediation work. 3 separate grants, 2 of them in Ashley and 1 of them here in the city of Delaware. And the reason we're doing it now is because the Ohio Department of Development, who administers this program, is going to open up the application period soon. We don't know exactly when, but it's expected to be soon, at which point, if you're ready and have applications to submit, since this is statewide competitive bidding, this time we should be in a position to submit them right when they open up, which gives us a much better chance of getting them approved. So anyway, that's the status of that. That's the biggest thing we'll be doing this week.
Okay, Commissioner Merrill.
I don't really have anything other than, I just want to compliment Commissioner Benton as chairman of the land bank, keeping these projects moving and frankly doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work that keeps them moving. And just want to give you the
Well,
appropriate
thank you,
credit for that.
thank you. Yeah, we've probably knocked down 20 buildings that needed knocked down, and we've probably remediated 8 to 10 others, you know. So it's been a nice success.
How is the Sunny project going?
It's in private hands now.
Okay.
It is being renovated and converted into a home.
It looks a little different. doesn't
It looks a lot different and
Yeah.
a lot better.
A lot better,
As an
right?
example, that's probably the poster child for the good
yes.
work that the land bank can do as a facilitator. You
And
know, we're
that
not-
stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, that was a real
So
problem.
that was
15
really-
years abandoned and
Yeah.
right in the middle of a beautiful neighborhood.
Yes,
So that's a
yes.
good example of the way we're able to get things done.
Yeah, thank you for your work.
Oh, sure. Well, we've got
General.
some experts hired that do the legwork and an oversight, and we do the oversight and keep things moving along.
Yeah.
And we're also talking about, again, kind of, since the state has not funded again the demolition program that they had funded for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about doing a local one with some of the DTAC money that funnels into the land bank.
Oh,
So we're
great.
gonna put a framework together and see if that makes sense.
Great, great, thank you.
Sure.
And we do have need for executive session.
You have no comments?
I have no comment. Thank you.
We do have need for executive, resolution number 25-21, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of promotion and compensation of a public employee or public official, to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, to consider the sale of property at competitive bidding, and for collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-21. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
We are now in executive session.
Thank you.
Thank you.